Oh, so let's move to the theme race, the highlight race. So Queen Elizabeth Stakes. Everyone is focusing on Very Elegant, but she never won this race because in the last two editions she was beaten by Adaya. So this year's, do you think it would be her last race?
No, I don't think so. Unless she was to perform poorly. Her last run was far from her best. She was beaten by Montefilia in the Group 1 Roundford at Rose Hill, and Montefilia beat her fairly and squarely. But she's come off defeat before and bounces back. And you've got to have faith that Chris Waller is just so good at getting these horses on the big day, the day when it counts. We saw that last week with Nature Strip. He went into the race off a bad defeat at his previous start, and he towed them up last week. So I very much respect Very Elegant. I mean, there was some talk they would take her to Europe. I'm not sure if that's still on the table, but we'll just wait and see how she goes tomorrow. She is the favourite at around 2.9, but this is one of the strongest editions of this race I have seen. Last year, it was a two-horse race really between her and a day, and a day was too strong. But this is a very, very good field this year.
Yes. It seems that the fillies dominate the Australian staying races. So this year we see Very Elegance and also Montefilia, but Animal, there's a lot of talks about him. He got fever last week, but he seems okay because he doesn't miss any track works. So it seems just a minor setback. From his run in the Rose Hill Guineas, that actually he's the best 3-0 in town, over 2,000 meters. So coming back on the same distance, that if he produced that winning form, then he is hard to beat. Do you agree?
Well, he's the most exciting 3-year-old in the country, and this is the race that they've been targeting him for during the whole carnival. So he's one of those many chances in the race. It was so impressive winning the Rose Hill Guineas. The times of the race weren't great. I know he won by about 7 lengths at the end, and it was, look at him. But the times weren't special. So we must remember that. But he handled the heavy track well. He definitely stays the distance at 2,000 metres, and he's peaking at the right time. But you mentioned Montefilia. Well, if Very Elegant's the favourite at 2.9, you've got to respect Montefilia because Montefilia beat her with no excuses.
Yes.
But there's a very, very promising mare coming through, number 7, Duis. Is trained by Ed Cummings. Now, he's the brother of James Cummings and the grandson of the great Bart Cummings. Now, Duis, she may well be our next superstar here. Her win at Newcastle in the Tancred Stakes. And when you're looking at the form and you see Newcastle, that was owing to the fact that Rose Hill got washed out 2 weeks ago and they had to transfer that meeting to the provincial track. Her win was outstanding in the Tancred. She sat back last, she pulled out at the top of the straight, and in the space of 50 metres, she went from last to first and just ran right away from her rivals. She looks very, very exciting. She did the same thing in Melbourne when she won the Australian Cup. And I'm going to tip her on Saturday because I think she's going to be the next big thing in Sydney racing, Duis number 7.
Yes, actually, this race we are quite exciting to see 2 mares. So in 7 Duis and also Montefilia. So both mares actually improved a lot since their run in I think last October, I bet them in the Caulfield Cup. So they didn't perform well, but over the past 6 months, she just kept improving. So now became one of the main dangers in this race. Oh, I agree with you that actually this race, because they are fillies, they can take 2 kilos and as well. So they can take 2 kilos in the weight and the form as well. So that would be quite happy to have number 6, number 7, and number 8 for Quinella.
I think that's a Yeah, a very good chance. We haven't spoken about another horse in the race, but if this was on dry ground, I'd probably be tipping number 2, Zaki. He's one of the most exciting male horses on the scene here, and Zaki's win in the All-Star Mile was terrific, and a lot of the horses that he beat that day in that race have all come out and run well since, including I'm Thunderstruck. But he doesn't have much, well, he has no experience on a heavy track. He's gone okay on a soft track. Yeah. And I think for the fact the unknown is there about him on a heavy, his price will be okay and he might be better than them. That's why I can see 5 serious winning chances in the race. That's why I believe this is one of the best editions of the Queen Elizabeth I've seen since I moved from Hong Kong back to Sydney, because normally it's just 2 chances, maybe 3, but there is so much depth to this field on Saturday.
And also it's good for Australian racing because this time is no overseas visitors for this race, and you guys definitely can keep this race at home. But it's also excited to see 2 rising star mares coming up, maybe going to take over from Very Elegant. So just like continue the dominations in the middle distance category.
Yes, well, who knows in time, a horse like Zaki or a horse like Duis, maybe even Montefilia, could be horses you could possibly see in Hong Kong in December.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so only 9 horses in this race, but we think there would be 5 winning chances. So, but in our opinion, that number 7, Duis, will be the most exciting prospect in this race, and she has the potential to be the next superstar in Australia. So let's go for this lucky 7 in this race.
Yes, her price today is 6.5, so I think that's very good value.
Yes. 好啦，嚟到第8場咧，就係呢個主題賽事，即係 S1 第5場咧，就係女皇伊利沙伯錦標啊！今年咧呢場賽事咧，可以話係近幾年以嚟咧實力最強、最平均嘅一屆啊！咁喺9匹參戰馬之中咧，當中有5匹咧都有機會係勝出嘅，當中咧就包括呢個2號嘅呢個啦。就係品德高尚啦，啱啱贏完全明星優利賽啦。另外9號愛禮物啦，呢隻咧升級3歲馬啦，仲有3匹嘅升級嘅黐馬當中咧，包括6號嘅雍容爾雅啦、7號獲獎無數同埋呢個8號嘅山間善女啊。咁其實咧每一隻馬都係有優點啦，同時亦都有少少嘅缺點嘅。咁其實品德高尚咧近績非常之好，級數亦都係高，評分亦都係最高嘅之一。不過咧佢未有太多嘅大爛地嘅支持啊。如果呢一隻馬支持即係可以跑呢個爛地嘅話咧，當然咧係呢場嘅真正分子，因為呢隻馬咧真係表現穩定同埋有級數啊。咁其實雍容爾雅上場賽事咧喺一個冇藉口之下係落敗嘅。但係咧其實華禮納咧好多時候咧都會將一啲大賽時候咧，將佢嗰啲旗下馬匹推向最高峰嘅。之前可能熱身賽咧表現差啲咧，但係都未必係真嘅。好似上個禮拜綠化帶咁樣啦，之前嗰2場咧完全一注賽咁樣，到正本戲嘅時候都係跑得好嘅。雍容爾雅嘅情況都可能係咁樣。不過其實今場賽事佢將會面對咧2隻咧係即係進步緊嘅升級黐馬啦，就係呢隻7號嘅獲獎無數同埋8號嘅山間善女啊。咁呢2隻馬都係咧近績好啦，亦都咧尤其是獲獎無數啊，之前以一個無敵嘅姿態咧擊敗呢個雍容爾雅。Darren 都覺得呢一隻馬咧極有機會咧成為下一匹咧澳洲嘅馬後級分子嚟㗎。咁當然啦，愛禮物。上場贏玫瑰剛堅尼非常之好啦，始終呢一隻馬之前有發燒啊，咁唔知佢咧體力上啊或者會唔會受到影響。不過如果係本身交翻佢最高嘅水準，之前佢喺爛地嘅成績咁好咧，咁今場賽事都仍然要啦。唯一擔心上場贏玫瑰剛堅尼咧時間唔算太過出色嘅，咁唔好因為佢大勝7個馬位咧而過度高估嗰場賽事啊。所以我哋呢一場咧都係以呢個7號獲獎無數咧去作為一個重心啊。